Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wonder if you'll forgive me for returning the debate to the bill in front of us today. Because this bill is about saving British steel. That's what this debate should be focused on today, and I want to commend the Secretary of State for bringing forward the powers to achieve that goal. The Secretary of State has today acted with decisiveness, with speed and with certainty. I want to thank him for the bill that he's presented today. I think he has acted in the national interest. He's acted to safeguard our economic security, and I'm delighted that he has acted in line with the advice of the Select Committee tabled with him 10 days ago. As we know, Mr. Speaker, that doesn't always happen. So we urged the Secretary of State to maximise pressure on British Steel's owners, not to do what was easy, but to do what was right. And today the Secretary of State has returned to the House with a bill asking for the powers to do exactly that. Mr. Speaker, this legislation matters not simply because it protects 3,700 jobs in Scunthorpe, not simply because it protects 37,000 jobs in the steel supply chain across our nation, not simply because it safeguards nearly £2 billion worth of economic output. This bill matters today because it defends our economy, it defends our security, and therefore it defends our future. At the heart of this debate, Mr. Speaker, the heart of this debate is actually a very simple question. Can we entrust a critical national asset to a company that we do not trust? I say no. We cannot, we must not, and we dare not. We are presented with a very simple challenge. In British Steel's owners, we have a company in possession of an asset that we need, yet it is a partner that we do not trust. In a world where threats to our economic security multiply each day, we cannot allow that risk to fester at the heart of our industrial core. I give way.
Very much. I thank the honourable member for giving way, and I wonder if he would agree with me that there is a wider issue at stake with all of our energy security and national security. We've seen what could go wrong with a company that we do not trust, which is Chinese, and we see the Chinese influence in other vital sectors, particularly our energy industry, increasing. Should this not underline our concern and act as a warning that we do not want the Chinese to have control of our energy supply?
To answer in this House a very basic question, which is, if we cannot trust a company, can we entrust a capability that we need to it when it is so vital to our strength? It's one of the reasons that our committee has set up a new subcommittee on economic security. We will be reporting back to the House on the state of economic security in our country before the summer recess, and I look forward to her comments on that report. But the general point, Mr. Speaker, that I want to land is this. What we value most cannot be entrusted to those we distrust most. The timing of this bill today is critical. We live in an age of intensifying insecurity. President Putin's violence is unabated. China's military build-up is unabated. And now President Trump threatens to upend the free trading system. In such a world, to surrender our ability to make primary steel would not be a misfortune, it would be negligence. I give way to my honourable friend.
Thank you. I thank the honourable member for giving way, and he will know on the committee we've spoken to defence companies about how necessary it is to not rely on imports at a time like this. So does he agree with me that national resilience and defence rely on an industrial security?
Honourable friend is absolutely right. And what we need to remember in this debate today is that 95% of our rail infrastructure is made by British Steel. British Steel supplies 3/4 of every major construction project in this country. We're about to invest, thanks to the Chancellor, £10 billion in the rearmament of this country. Much of what we need to put in place in the future will be made by British Steel. How can we afford to let British Steel go out of business today? How can we vote against the bill which is on the table in front of us today? British Steel is not simply a pillar of British industry, it is a cornerstone of our economic security. I give way to the honourable member.
To the right honourable gentleman for giving way. Would he agree with me that this argument, as a card-carrying advocate of industrial strategy, it applies also to some of our key other high-growth sectors, in fusion, in quantum, in space? We have got to accept that the days of easy globalisation are over and be a bit more strategic about how we support our emerging industries.
Mr. Speaker, you know that I could answer that question all day, and you will rule me out of order, and I'm going to confine my remarks to the bill that is on the table in front of us. But I agree with the honourable gentleman. He is absolutely right, and that is why we have got to work harder across this House to build a consensus about the big calls that we need to get right for our future. Right now, British Steel, I will in a moment, British Steel faces significant headwinds. Not just Chinese steelmakers flooding the market, but the new 25% tariff that we have from the United States. And we've got to now rise to the challenge of decarbonisation. And yet, in this House, we have got to keep our eyes on the prize ahead of us. The Chancellor has just committed £100 billion worth of capital investment. We are building affordable homes at a pace not seen in decades. We are investing £10 billion in defence. There is a market to seize, but only if we have the means to supply it. British Steel cannot profit from Britain's future if Chinese firms are allowed to kill it today. Give way to the honourable member.
The member for giving way, and I agree with him that we need a steel industry in Britain, and I agree with him that we need to invest in it. Does he not think that today we could be going a bit further, and instead of this temporary measure, actually taking the whole steel industry into public ownership, so it can be what it has always been, the bedrock of manufacturing industry in Britain, and give us security for the future, free from market forces?
Well, the right honourable gentleman may well be right, but this is the second key point that I wanted to just land, Mr. Speaker, because the truth is, Jingyi is a mess. The reality is this company has failed to publish accounts since 2021. 2 auditors have resigned. One cited material concerns about its ability to remain a going concern. Inventories can't be verified. Cash flow statements are missing. The company is not acting in good faith, and that is why the Secretary of State is right to take the powers that he's asking for today. I will in a moment. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is clear that the escalating trade war between China and the United States now created the imperative to act today. It is clear that Zhengyi was about to move primary steelmaking capability from Scunthorpe back to China and merely use the downstream mills in Scunthorpe. That may have been good for China's economic security, but it is not good for Britain's national security, and that is why we need to give the Secretary of State the powers that he is asking for today. Mr. Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, the options on the table are very simple. The Secretary of State could do nothing, and they would watch the furnaces close. They could hope, but hope is not a strategy. Or they could act, as they have done today. They have acted with strength, decision, for the long-term interest in our country, and this House should give the Secretary of State its full and unabated support.
Now, we can be party political. I have to say I thought the Chairman of the Business Committee made an excellent speech just now. He was positive. He talked in strategic terms. I don't know what the Liberal Democrat spokesman achieved by constantly attacking the Conservative Party in what is a very complex issue.